Horror breeds horrors. The ideas and images that stick with us impact our fears and our nightmares. From monsters in the basement to heaving, mumbling slasher villains, so many of the horrors on display in genre films are people and creatures deformed, deranged, and unsightly, and sometimes disabled. If we jump right back, one of the first examples of disability in horror were the cast of carnival performers in 1932's Freaks, and shortly after, Charles Loughton as Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame 1939. But often dominating the conversation around ableism in horror are the general creatures of horror cinema and classic universal monsters that appeared from the 30s to the 70s. These monsters are often referred to in scholarly discussions as representative of disability due to their otherness or disfigurement. Looking online, you'll find articles both academic and personal that discuss them as such. And I don't want to dismiss the impact that these characters had on individuals, but today I want to look specifically at physical disabilities and learning disabilities experienced by humans. Even without these broadly othered characters, there is no shortage of definable disability on screen in horror. Over the last century, we have seen plenty of unintentional projections of disability and deformity as horror, such as the little person in Nicholas Roeg's Don't Look Now, Seth Brundle in Cronenberg's The Fly, and the bevy of 80s and 90s slasher villains, including the hook-handed Candyman and Warwick Davis as Leprechaun. These either present an actor with a disability in a villainous role, or, as I discussed in my video on The Fly, zero in on the horror of losing what we deem to be normal function. Then we have intentionally disabled characters, both villains and protagonists acknowledged as disabled by the film. There's 1932's Freaks, a seminal work in horror cinema, Joan Crawford in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Franklin Hardesty in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the leads of Romero's oft-forgotten Monkey Shines and the 1990s Rear Window remake, and recently titles like Hush, Annabelle Creation, Don't Breathe, Curse of Chucky, and The Advent Calendar. While disability in lead characters is arguably becoming more common than it's ever been, disabled performers playing the parts are few and far between, with able-bodied performers often cripping up to take on the roles. But we'll get to that later.